So let us talk about the mistakes that married women make. Married women make a lot of mistakes. I have a special place for married women in my heart. Trust me. I've been married before, and marriage is one of the most beautiful things that God ever created. In as much as my marriage didn't work, I wish it did. And if I get the opportunity of getting married again, trust me, it will work because I learned a lot from my previous marriage. So that's the reason why, because a lot of married women as a whole have a special place in my heart. I decided to share these mistakes that most of you make once you get married. My name is Okoro Blessing in Kiroka, and I'm popularly known as Blessing CEO, the number one most controversial relationship expert in Africa. Married women, I want you to pay attention. First of all, I want to congratulate you for being married. I don't know how many years you've been in that marriage, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but I give it to you. If a married woman comes into my office for counseling or for therapy, I always give them a gift when you've stayed 3 years in marriage. It's not easy. Kudos, my darling. It's a lot of work. So congratulations to you, and I wish you many more years, and may you keep trying and honoring your husband. So, the number one mistakes a lot of married women make, and if you're single, you can still pay attention so that when you get married, you can also learn. Number one, ownership. A lot of married women make this mistake. Ownership. You think that the moment you're married to your husband, you have owned him. Now, that ownership is what used to bring problem because men love freedom. They love their freedom. So the moment you marry them, you become an annoying wife. You don't want him to go out. You don't want him to go and hang out with his friends. You think he's an object. You want to owe him. That's where you see a lot of men begin to rebel. They begin to rebel. It now look as if, oh, your husband doesn't love you, your husband hates you. No. It is because a lot of married women have this mindset that as soon as I'm married to this man, I own him. You cannot own a man, neither can you own a woman. You cannot own anybody. I'm specifying to the women today. We are talking about women. You can't own a man. It's not possible. Especially in Africa. Men have freedom. Culture have given them that freedom. No matter how you want to say, oh, I don't know how you want to paint it or how you want to feel good about yourself. You cannot own a man, especially in this space, Africa. You can't own a human being as a whole, but in Africa, you can't own a man. Men have freedom. Culture have given them freedom. So when you marry them, the biggest problem you have is ownership. Let me tell you something. Men love freedom. If you want to test a man's true love, give him freedom. There's something a lot of married women do not understand. He saw other people, then he chose you. All those noise, all those gra-gra, it's not going to change anything. A man will misbehave if he wants to misbehave. That sense of ownership is what is messing up the marriage, is what is making you a nag, is what is making you complain, is what is making you become that woman that you don't even like, is what is scaring your husband for you. Because you feel you own a man, he's now your own, he's not an object, so he's assigned to you. No, that's a wrong mindset. You need to change it. Give a man his freedom. Give a man his freedom. If you want a man to enjoy marriage, give him his freedom. So women will say, Blessing, are you saying we should give him freedom to go and cheat? You that is caging him, is he not still cheating? We still takes us back to square one, my darling. You cannot stop them from doing what they want to do. Cheating is a choice, it's discipline. If your husband wants to cheat, your noise will not stop it. Your nagging will not stop it. Your complaint will not stop it. A lot of you have been nagging and complaining, he's still cheating. So it's not going to stop it. Do you understand? He's an adult. You know, there's something you used to forget when you're married as a woman. You used to forget that your husband is an adult. I don't blame you. It's love. Love makes you think that a man is a baby. But in as much as he's your baby, you need to understand that he's an adult. So he has some certain level of freedom. Give it to him. It is that possessiveness, it is that ownership that make you think I own him, that make you start to misbehave, that make you start to, make the marriage unhappy for him and uncomfortable for him. So you need to first of all understand that you don't own a man. You don't own him. Marriage is not ownership. Marriage is partnership. And remember, I told you in this part of the world, for those of you who want to come and start comparing, Blessing. So if you say I don't own a man, that means he doesn't own me. You are in Africa. You are in Africa, no matter how you want to deceive yourself, no matter how you want to lie to yourself to feel good, we have culture. And in our culture, a man comes to marry a woman. A man doesn't actually still own a woman. In the real sense of it, nobody can own anybody. That's the honest part. Nobody can own anybody. People will do whatever they want to do. Even God that gave you life, you still do what you want to do and go and beg for forgiveness. What do you think a human being can do? You can only lie and deceive them. So when you have this understanding that you don't own a man, it will make you soft pedal. It will make you become calmer. It will make you find another strategy, which is taking us to number 2. It is that ownership that has made you become a toxic wife. Yes, it is that ownership that has made you become a dramatic wife. It has made you become a very violent wife. That's mindset of ownership. Now, I'm going to tell you why you should change the mindset of ownership, which is going to take us to the number 2 mistake that a lot of married women make. Number 2, nagging, complaining. It is that sense of ownership that makes you a nag. What does it mean for a woman to be a nag? When she starts to raise her voice unnecessary, when you become an unnecessary talkative. Nagging, people don't know when to stop. They don't know what to say. When you are a nag, you'll be saying anything and everything that comes to your head, because nagging often comes with anger. So that is when you begin to nag, say things you're not supposed to say things you're going to regret. You don't have a stop. Now, it is that sense of ownership that kills your communication value. A lot of you married women do not know how to communicate because you have this sense of ownership. When you have a sense of ownership that you own this person as an object, you will not know communication. You will always be feeling entitled. Yes, entitlement makes you nag. Instead of you to pass your message, you'll be shouting, because there are lots of things you can actually tell your husband and he will listen. You don't have to scream. Because all the while you've been screaming, nothing has changed. When you scream on a man, he will become worse, because he'll be like, oh, you want to shout on me? That's where, the whole drama starts from. So it is the sense of, that point you feel that I own this person, that makes you not to want to calm down to pass your message. You'll be shouting, you'll be complaining, you'll be, and it scares a man away. Yes, I'm not going to tell you that in relationship and marriage, there's no misunderstanding. That's a lie. But a lot of you married women have taken it as a habit. And it scares the crap out of a man when he knows that she's going to nag. Oh, it makes them not to share anything with you. That is the birth of your husbands becoming strangers. Some of you don't know your husband. Yes, my darling. He's a complete stranger. And it's because you don't know your husband. That is why it is hard to live with him. So men are not difficult. You don't just know them. A lot of women are desperate. Because women are desperate, they just want to marry. They don't take time to study the people that they are marrying. So when they now finally marry, it's now a job. What is all this? It's because you were desperate to just marry. You don't even know the person you're marrying. Now, when you have desperately married, and you are in the marriage and you're a smart woman, and you follow these rules of understanding that I don't own this person, and you take your time to communicate. When you communicate, now you begin to understand. You now begin to understand the kind of man. Some of you don't understand your husband because you don't know how to talk. You have a way of triggering him. A simple conversation, you turn it into a fight. It's just a simple conversation. It's because you feel like I own him. I own him. He's my husband now. I can say anything. I can do anything. He cannot pursue me. You need to change that method and learn good communication skills. You're going to need it in marriage, because you're going to be talking more than you're having sex. You are not going to be having sex more. Married women, you know that one already, right? You can say 2 weeks, no sex. 1 week, no sex. I've said it a couple of times. Responsibility has a way of reducing your sexual libido. Exactly. The way you were having sex when you were dating is not the way you're going to be having sex when you're married. Exactly. So you're going to communicate more. You will talk more than you have sex. So you will learn it. If you want to collect something from your husband, if you want to tell him something, if you want him to, you must learn communication. And the reason why it's so hard for you to learn communication is that sense of entitlement that I own him. That's why you cannot talk without screaming. You cannot talk without cursing. You cannot talk without insulting. Sometimes you'll be asking yourself, why am I even shouting? Because some certain things that a lot of married women shout about, it does not warrant shout. Only you'll be asking yourself, why did I now shout now? Why am I nice? Why did I not insult him? You know, you become unnecessarily aggressive because you are feeling entitled to him. Some of you actually feel that, oh, because I'm married to this man, he's supposed to be with me 24 hours. But there's something a lot of married women do not know, and I'm going to tell you on this video. Your husband had female friends before you came into his life. The difference between you as a wife and other women outside is priority. He had other women and he chose you to be number one. So he prioritized you. It doesn't mean that when you are married to a man, he's going to drive every woman in his life away. No, that's not how it works. Remember that those women that were in his life before you came gave space for you to come. Imagine they also killed you the way you want to kill them. Or they also do the same thing you are doing the way. Do you understand my point? So you must learn how to manage relationship to understand that your husband would have what is called friends. He is matured enough to know how to handle them. They were there before you came, and more will still come in. It is called networking. If your husband wants to decide to misbehave, to do anything with them, that's entirely his choice. You nagging, scrolling through his phone, shouting, it's not going to change anything. Some of these girls were there, you came in, they will still be there. So it is him as a person that will say, I am married. I have prioritized my wife. I will not know how to manage this relationship and keep them at arm's length. That is not your work. Because a lot of you married women used to go and do things that are not your work. You want to go and delete number from his phone. Is it you that save it there? You want to go and remove contact because he's married to you? No. What makes you behave and misbehave like that is that sense of ownership. So you now understand that the reason why you're behaving the way you're behaving is because you think you own him. No, you don't. Do you understand? He just prioritized you. You are the number one. It doesn't mean that other women are not going to be in his life. He has prioritized you. He's going to say, it's just you I want to be with. It's just you I want to be making love. That is his sole decision. The way he decided to come and marry you is the way he will decide and say, I want to be with you and I don't want to cheat on you. That is not your work. Stop stressing yourself. Number 3, stop lying to your husbands. The mistakes a lot of you married women make is that you lie to your husbands. Lie in the sense that you like to massage his ego. Yes, even when your husband is wrong, you can't tell him that he's wrong. That's a no. The reason why your husband marry you is because you are supposed to be his better half. You're supposed to look out for him. You're supposed to be the one that will tell him, baby, no, this one you did no. No, baby, no. It's not everything he does, you will support him. No, they're not a wife. That's not being a wife. Because at the end of the day, your husband will still realize the truth and he will hate you for it. When your husband is quarreling with his family members, you support him. Quarreling with neighbor, you support him. I'm not saying you should go and insult your husband in public, but no, when he comes into the room, you say, baby, no, this one you did now. The way you spoke to your younger brother, that was wrong, baby. The way you spoke to your sister, no, it's not, don't be an achikote one. That's not your job as a wife. Do you understand? You must learn to correct your husband. When you see that your husband or you think that he's doing something bad, talk to him. Stop lying. Stop saying, I don't want to. It's wrong. It's not being a wife. He will still realize, let me tell you, men are not stupid. Even if they are stupid at the moment, they will still come out of that stupidity. And they would know that you are fooling them. That's the honest truth. Always learn to tell your husband the truth. You are his better half. You are that mirror. Do you understand? Oh, baby, no, this thing is, the way you did it this way is wrong. No, baby, you spoke to him wrongly. I knew you were angry when you spoke, but next time, please, reduce your anger. Your husband will value you more. That's the truth. It's not any bad thing he does, you will support him. Any bad thing he does, he will support him. The irony is that if you keep supporting him for all the bad things, he will start doing that same bad thing to you. Let me tell you something as a wife. If you're a beautiful wife watching me today, let me tell you something. Anything you support will come back to you. Because when you support bad thing, that bad thing becomes a pattern to that person. They will treat anybody that way. If you're a mother that supports your child for doing bad thing, one day that child will bring that bad thing to you. If you support your child for stealing, one day that child will steal from you and kill you. That's the honest truth. So that's the reason why when you see something that is wrong, it's except if you don't see it as wrong. But if you know that something is wrong, please talk to your husband and stop lying to him. Stop saying, I don't want him to feel bad. That's why you are his wife. That's why you are his better half. You are there to actually tell him, baby, I know. Because you are more like his mirror. When you're married to a man or you're married to a woman, we're talking about men today, so that we don't divert. You are more like his mirror. So if you know you cannot mirror your husband, you are afraid of the man that you married, so then don't marry him now. Because you're supposed to be there to correct him. Because if anything happens, it will affect you. The reason why you have to tell him the truth is that any decision he makes, it will affect you, directly or indirectly. If he starts to fight with his family, the family will start to fight you. So you need to be able to correct him. Even if he does not listen, do your bit. Do you understand? Correct him. He will come back to realize that, my wife is actually a very good woman. No, because after fights, there will always be reconciliation, and they will always go back and say, when we had that fight, it was my wife that told me that what I did was not good. You will appreciate it. Do you understand? So, as a married woman, please, 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 if you're that person that lies to your husband to massage his ego, please stop it. Okay? Then number 4, disrespect. Stop disrespecting your husband. See finish. I know sometimes we can actually disrespect our husbands without knowing. No. You know, in a marriage, see finish will just make you start to see the person anyhow. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. You've seen the person where the person is bathing, you know what his private part is like, you know how he sleep, you know how he snore, you know everything about him. So sometimes subconsciously, see finish will enter inside. You start to talk to your husband anyhow. No. As a married woman, you must make that conscious effort. You see this thing called respect. Respect is a conscious effort. Nobody was born with respect, though. Respect is just that comfort effort, you telling yourself, no. So you have to make that conscious effort to know that your husband is your king. In as much as he has given you the liberty to see him the way he is, you still need to remember that he's a king. Do you understand? You need to talk to him with respect. And that's the reason why a lot of men don't talk to you. A lot of men don't talk to you because they know that when they talk to you, they will disrespect them. Yes, you see some men prefer to talk to their friends, they prefer to talk to their families, they don't want to talk to their wife. They don't want to tell you these things because of disrespect. Some of you don't know how to manage information. Many married men don't know how to manage information. You have to learn it. That's the reason why it looks as if your husbands are far from you. You will see your husband will start talking to side chick. A lot of side chick know more than wife. That's the honest truth. That's why it looks as if side chick of these days, they have one kind of power. They have one kind of gods. It's because your husbands are talking to them more. Do you understand? It's because your husband are talking to them more. They've not seen your husband finish the way you have seen your husband finish. So as a married woman, you must make the conscious effort. It's called a conscious effort. Because trust me, all of us used to jabber. Even me that is in a relationship, sometimes I used to forget. I will forget. Yes, I used to forget. See finish will enter inside. But I remind myself that, this is my man. I need to treat him with respect. I will go back and apologize. So make that conscious effort so that you don't make it a habit. Now, when you make a conscious effort, it will be easy for you to retrace your step. But if you don't make a conscious effort, it will not become a habit. You will not be used to it. There are some of you married women that are used to disrespecting your husband. It has now become a way of life. It's normal. Yes. So you can actually retrace yourself by making it is consciousness that make you know that this thing I did is wrong. Or you can say, oh baby, I'm sorry. Right? Good. Which takes us to the next mistake. So you must learn to make that conscious effort of saying, baby, I'm sorry. So that at least your husband can be able to communicate with you. Trust me, there is nothing else that kills marriage apart from lack of communication. When one person stops talking, it's no more working. And the thing about men is that society have conformed a lot of men not to talk. Women, we are talkative. It's so normal for us to talk. Anywhere we go, we will complain, we will explain, we will talk. Our work is to be talking. But society has conformed a lot of men not to talk. Yes, some men actually see talking as being a woman. They talk like woman. Some men actually see talking as cowardice. So many men are actually locked inside the bottle because society have told them, be a man. You're not supposed to talk like a woman. So they are bottling up so much. What makes you a wife? What makes you special is your man should be talking to you. I hear a lot of women saying, my husband is not a talking type. Every man is a talking type. The fact is, they are not talking to you. You have not given most of them that conducive environment to talk. Remember, I told you, society have already put them inside bottle, not to talk. So you are the one that will bring them out and give them that conducive environment to be relaxed enough to talk to you. Let me tell you, marriage is so hard for a lot of married people because the men don't talk. So the problem is some women don't even know what the problem is and they don't even know how to solve the problem. Because first of all, a man needs to communicate to say, this is the problem. Before you can now know. Some of married women don't know what the problem is because the men are not talking. So these are the issues that we have. They don't talk, they don't cry, they don't complain, they just So that's why your husband can just wake up today and tell you, I'm marrying another wife. Now, you don't know what you have done. Maybe because he's not talking, you think you might have offended him, but he did not talk. Now, when people talk, It's easier to forgive. It's easier to let go. It's easier to know what is at the back of their mind. I remember when I was younger, my mom would say she always likes to quarrel with my dad because that's the only way he talks. She would go and look for something and say, I saw you driving past today. I saw you with 2 girls. My father will start saying, no, no, no. He'll start denying. She just wants him to talk. So you must always find a way to make your man talk. Do you understand? That's the reason why a lot of your men like to spring surprises on you. And it is those ones that don't used to talk that can spring surprise. Yes, so not your husband that is so quiet, that is so innocent. He's the one that have 3 baby mama. He's the one that have 10 side chick. That's the reason why when you hear the news, you are shocked. This man, I don't used to talk. He used to talk, but he's not talking to you. So you must make the environment conducive enough. At least let us know what is in their mind. Because if these men don't talk, we cannot know nothing is in their mind. We cannot know anything. You just be in the dark, floating in the dark. And the worst thing that can happen to you is when they just come and spring up one information on you. You'll be like, oh God, I was not informed. It could just throw you off balance emotionally, psychologically, and mentally. So let's give them that environment and give them that respect to be able to talk to us. Let's kukuma know where our problem is coming from and know how to tackle it. Let us know if we can solve it, who we are calling to come and help us. It is very, very important. And disrespect is what actually shuts a lot of men up. Last but not the least, learn to say sorry. Learn to say sorry. Okay? Learn to say sorry. Nothing will happen to you if you say sorry. Learn to be apologetic. Sorry bets conversation. When you say sorry, you can start a new communication and pick it up from there. I don't know why a lot of married men, when you marry, I don't know why you are bugaing. You don't need buga. What are you bugaing for? It's your husband. Oh. There's no buga when you are married. We're not bugaing anywhere. So if you know you want to be bugaing, stay single. Okay? You don't need to buga when you're married. Buga is not for your husband. Buga is for outsiders. When you go to the office, you buga. You do like this. When you go to your church, buga. When you go outside and buga. Once you come to your house, your husband, you dobale, you respect, you humble. Do you understand? Your husband is that person. When I was married, I used to tell my ex-husband, if not that you're my husband, there were lots of things that my ex-husband did to me that no man can try it. I always used to tell him, you are privileged. You are lucky that you married me. Because an outsider will not do this thing and get away with it. In fact, that's the privilege people have for marrying you. And some certain things they can do and get away with it. So learn to say sorry. There's no need to carry your shoulder up. There's no need. Say sorry. You're a woman. Okay? It doesn't cost anything. Let peace reign. Let the marriage work. Let him be the man. Oh, let's massage his ego. Sorry. I've been massaging ego. Carry a bony kibam and massage. Sorry, baby. I am sorry. Can we talk about this? Do you understand? I'm not saying you should not be angry. It's okay for you to be angry. You can take a day. It's fine. Do you understand? But after your anger, just go back and say, sorry, baby, can we talk about this? It doesn't make you a fool. It's a lie. He's your husband. So long as you're married to somebody, there's no foolishness in marriage. There is no foolishness in marriage. Like I said, there is no booger. There's nothing like, hey, you are too big. You are married to him. There's no big. If you are too big, why did you marry him? Okay? So you need to pipe down and learn to say sorry. Now, these are the 5 common mistakes a lot of married women make. And I hope that this video is going to change your marriage and it's going to change your life. And you've learned something from this video. So pick up the lessons that you have learned and go and make adjustments in your marriage. Trust me. Marriage is the most beautiful thing that can happen to you. Let us make it work. It is us that will make it work. And I wish you guys many more years and fruitful years and blissful marriage. I'm so proud of all of you. And I cannot wait to come and join your community of Married Women Association. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube. Thank you so much for coming up on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. And I love you guys very, very much. Don't worry, guys. When I finally find your husband, I will invite you for the wedding. The wedding will be the talk of the town. It will shake everyone. They're going to see you don't marry. I'm going to shake everywhere.